Hello, how are you today? Well, this is going to be off the cuff. I have no notes, no teleprompter, nothing like that. This is just going to be straight off the cuff, and I'm getting a message, two messages, as you heard. Anyways, I just put myself through 20 minutes of pure hell. Almost quite literally. Those of you who are not familiar with Ray Comfort, get familiar with him, and don't get familiar with him as in, read the stuff that he's wrote and then get sucked into the trap that he's planting for you. What you need to do is look up a Wikipedia article about him, something like that, his personal biography, and read about it, and then go. If you do watch any of his stuff, be sure you look up some criticisms and critiques about said stuff. But here is what he's doing this year, maybe next. I think it's this fall. Yeah, this fall, what he's going to do is he has a brand new propaganda invention. And that invention happens to be perhaps a book, maybe a DVD. It's going to be 100 copies of whichever, maybe both. And what this is it's a 33-minute documentary of him walking around universities and in the streets, and he's asking random people. He's asking completely random people, do you know who Adolf Hitler is? Who's Adolf Hitler? Do you know what Adolf Hitler is? Do you know who he is? Do you know what he did? And then, after he goes around and asks so many people, he tells everyone what Adolf Hitler did and who he was, and like we haven't heard this before. And after this, he gives them all these hypotheticals. One hypothetical he gave them was, it's at the top of his reign. He's just gained power, and you're in a safe location, a distance away from him with a high-powered rifle, and you have one shot, and you've got him right in your sights. If you shoot now, you can instantly kill him. What do you do? And everyone he asked said, I'd kill him. And then he gave him another question. He's like, okay, it's 30 years earlier, and you see Adolf Hitler's mom pregnant with Adolf. Do you kill her in order to kill Adolf? Some people said yes. One guy he may be German himself. I'm not exactly sure, but he may be German himself. He said yes, he would definitely kill her, plus all of his relatives. Which, if I had prior knowledge of what he would do, I would see it as it being my fault if I was there at the time and I allowed it to happen, which is pretty much what people thought here. So, yeah. Anyways, note that I did not watch all 33 minutes because around the 20-minute mark, you pretty much know what exactly is being said. And here's what he does. Here's how snaky this is. After giving them all these hypotheticals, and another hypothetical that I almost left out was you're at point blank range with a machine gun, and on the other side of that machine gun is a German Nazi officer who tells you that if you do not get in a bulldozer that happens to be there, and if you don't get in that bulldozer and drive it forward and cover up all these bodies of people who are barely alive, most of them dead and whatnot, if you don't, he's going to shoot you. So he asked these people this, and some people's like, no, I wouldn't do it, I'd never do that. And some are like, well, maybe to save myself, and others tried to, dance around it. Then, after doing that, after talking about Hitler and taking lives and making and telling all this stuff about, of course, Hitler thought that the German race was superior and whatnot. He goes from that to, okay, so you value human life. Well, yes, of course I value human life. Then would you abort a baby? Yeah, this is the way it's going. I watched a little bit after he talked about that, and he basically took their answers from the previous question and tagged it onto that. Now, everyone has their personal thoughts about abortion, and that's fine. Me, however, I think that abortion is a very subjective thing. All depends on the context of what would happen if we didn't abort it. Maybe it's not, maybe it's going to grow up in poverty. Would you want that? I wouldn't. Maybe the people who were having the baby didn't plan it out. Maybe it was a rape case. Maybe if we allow the child to be born, that it's going to kill the mother. It's also possible. And I don't mean that there's a probability that we'll kill. I'm talking about that they're at least 90% sure, because you can't be 100% sure about anything, that you're at least 90% sure that yes, that 9 times out of 10 it's going to kill you. Would you want to abort? And it's their choice. It's all their choice. No one should make you choose what you're going to do with your own body. No one. Anyways, so after going through that, from Adolf Hitler and this German officer is, would you kill Adolf Hitler? And this German officer is asking if you're going to bury all these bodies to kill all these people, and people who are possibly alive and people who are already dead, to aborting a baby. And then he goes from that to saying, okay, when is it okay to kill a baby? And of course, everyone he talks to can't answer. And there's a reason for this. It's not that they don't know. Well, actually, it is that they don't know. But the thing is that he purposely goes up to people who have no idea. They don't even have a concept or thought in their head about any of that. And then he points out these people, and he's just like, oh, look, this is how dumb people are without knowledge of Christianity. And that's what and then it all leads back to that. It all leads back to, well, God knows when it's okay to abort, and God knows when, that a life's sacred, and God knows that you shouldn't do this, and God says you shouldn't do it in the 10 Commandments, and then the rest, 10 minutes, is just him going through the whole, are you a liar, have you ever lied, you ever stole, all that stuff. And that's very old forte with him. But here's what I want to say, first of all, to those people who don't know who Ray Comfort is. Ray Comfort is he's pretty much a co-owner of Living Waters Ministry, and he runs this thing with Kirk Cameron called The Way of the Master, and it's basically just this big Christian thing, and if you're into that, fine. But he always used these snake oil salesman tactics. He always used these really low down tactics, and he's always very out of context with who he talks to. Never talks to anyone who actually knows what's going on, like who actually knows that, actually knows who Adolf Hitler was in his history, and knows when to abort, or at least has a good idea of when they should. And he does that on purpose, because I know, actually anybody would know, that if you're going to interview a big bunch of people, you're going to get varying opinions. What he does is he selectively picks out the ones that he wants, and those who actually knew what they were talking about and didn't believe his bullshit, he left them out. So that's what I want to say. That's what I wanted to say to you all who don't know who he is. Now, here's what I want to say to Ray Comfort himself, who will never see this video, probably not. But if he does, here's what I want to say to you, Ray Comfort. You've been peddling this same stuff for years. Years. All throughout primary school up until now. I'm going to college next week. Monday I go to college. And from then till now, you've just done the same stuff. And especially with the whole, are you a liar? Do you steal? Do you, and all this. And what you do is you do the lowest form of trying to make people believe what you believe. You make them feel bad about themselves. Have you ever stole? Well, yes, I've sold like a little pencil. Like, you're a thief. You ever told a lie? Everyone's told a lie. Of course I've told a lie. Then you're a liar. You need to get right with God. Those who are already buying your stuff, I can understand why they would. Because they believe exactly what you believe. They're horrible people. Horrible. Some people are so brainwashed, and I use that term very loosely, but some people are so indoctrinated, should I say, in such beliefs that they actually believe that they don't deserve a good life and that they deserve to go to hell. I used to be one of those people. So, Ray Comfort, I want to say to you, that I am proud to say that I am not of any religion. I am absent of religion. Although that I don't have religion, I still have morals, I still have limits, and I still know good from evil. Of course, those terms are also used loosely, good and evil. Good acts and bad acts is pretty much the way it goes. So, Ray Comfort, this is one person out of many that have spoke to you before, hopefully that have spoken to you before, that was not going to fall for this little trick, this little game you're throwing out. I know you want to spin the wheel, a little hypnotizing wheel, and I just fall under your spell, and I know you want to catch me like a rat in a trap, but I've seen the trap, I've seen you lay it out, and I know exactly how to avoid it. So, to Ray Comfort and everyone else who might have watched this video, I say good day to you, and it doesn't matter if you're of religion or not, I tolerate your views. Just don't try to shove it down my throat, and definitely don't try to do everything you can to convert me like Ray Comfort. So, thank you. You all have a nice day. I'm glad you all listened. And this has been the Super Frogzilla channel. I am AC the Legend. And hopefully the next video you ever see from this channel on future videos will be with my usual guest, Frog. So thank you all. Have a good day.